Hello, beautiful awakened soul. I'm Samantha of Senses of the Soul, and this is my November Ascension Energies update. Each month I channel insights about our human ascension process and the embodiment of a new human template, a new evolutionary genetics that is happening within us. I illuminate through my written blog and video about the latest themes, patterns, and the common health and wellness issues that are affecting each of us and the collective consciousness as we upgrade during this incredible new paradigm of love and light. This month's theme is crossing the threshold. So in October, we really saw the truth in all. So we saw the parts within our collective consciousness, in our world and ourselves, the good, the bad, the ugly. And when we see all of that, it has no power over us anymore. We are now moving forward, crossing the threshold and going towards that oneness within ourselves, reclaiming our independence and our sovereignty and our heart-centeredness. Oneness also includes being in the spiritual self with the earthly self, the masculine and feminine coming together, the head and heart being balanced. All of these things together bring us into oneness within ourselves and with each other. And we are moving towards that in January of 2022. So crossing the threshold right now, we have arrived at a place, whether it's by our own hand or by accident, or by the choices that others have made for us. We are arriving at a place now where we are starting something very new. Whether it's changes within your life or within yourself, you're feeling different, all of this is coming together. And it's part of the hero's journey. And when you cross the threshold, it can be chaotic, it can seem terrifying, but at the same time, it's also filled with wild possibility. We have this month as well helping us in this process as we cross the threshold on our next stage of our ascension journey. We have a partial lunar eclipse, so eclipse season is starting. We have a partial lunar eclipse in Taurus on the full moon on November 18th, 19th, depending on where you live. And again, that's going to support us to move forward to a new level of our destiny and see if we really are in alignment with our values. So watch for that energy and how that comes up in you this month. The archetypes we're working on this month are the guru archetype and the warrior archetype. So the guru is about spiritual connection, one with all, loss of more ego and falseness within ourselves. So again, you're going to have more illumination this month and seeing where you've given away your power, looking at old patterns and saying, I don't want that anymore, and taking positive steps to change that. We also are going to be learning to release more spiritual fear and trust as we go forward into the unknown, because when you're crossing that threshold, it's completely unknown where you're going. So you may be feeling that in your life at this point. And just trust that and know that Spirit has a plan. Move forward step by step, and as I always say, follow the breadcrumbs. The warrior in us, that archetype, we really are going to be working on more of that emotional and mental support for good self-worth, healthy self-worth, and knowing when to engage our will, right? Listening and knowing when to engage our will to make changes in our lives. That comes through that solar plexus. So you may be having a lot of digestive issues right now, but you're literally digesting past experiences so that you can turn your wounds into wisdom and move forward in a different way in your life, a more whole way that's more supportive to you. That's exciting. I also have a new line of essences that I'm launching this month, my DNA essences. So you can check that out on my website. The one that we're focusing on this month, the strands that we're focusing on are DNA 9 and 10, the 9 and 10th strands. These strands and each of these strands bring in another level. They're ignited as we go through the ascension process, and they bring in another level of embodiment in this new human form that we are taking, a new way of being human. And the 9th and 10th strands of DNA are about resolve and resilience and oneness and non-duality. All of that is needed to move forward within ourselves to a different level of living. A level that is engaged in life, is more passionate, more joyful, more creative, and more loving. So again, check out my DNA essences on my website. There's lots of information there. I also have an event there if you want to learn more about DNA essences. There's a recording there that you can also purchase. I go take a deep dive into the DNA and how that's changing through the ascension process. We're going to be grieving still this month, so know that's a good sign that you're finally releasing the old and moving into the new within yourself. So make room for the grieving when you need to. And also you'll see that more love and compassion for self and others will come online this month too. Okay, because as we grieve and let go, then we can come back into our center and not hold all that resentment and anger that's been moving through us in order to figure out what we need and create changes in defense of those needs. The veil is going to continue to thin through November. We're going into Halloween this weekend. And as that veil thins, we get more cosmic influence, more upgrades. And so you will have further illumination about your life in November, as I mentioned. All the illusion, everything's unraveling so that you can clearly see where you need to make those changes and attract healthier things into your life and healthier relationships into your life. Everything will continue to still look really muddy out there to you because you need to go within yourself to intuit what is needed as you move forward. And so we will be relying on ourselves and our connection with spirit more and more as we go through this ascension process. So dig in with your resolve and resilience this month so that you can move forward and make those changes that you need to, because you're unique. Your life is unique to you. Regardless of outside forces, you control you and you decide what you need in your life. So all the best to you on your healing journey this month. I have much more in my written blog if you want to go to my website, sensesofthesoul.ca, and you can read my complete blog about the energies and influences in November that will help shape your destiny. And being aware of that, you can use that in the way that is best for you. I will see you in December.